First of all, thank you everyone for coming this evening. Just to introduce myself, I'm Chris Rudd and I'll be chairing the event this evening. I'm the Vice Chair on the Student Council. Unfortunately, fortunately out there, Chair is running for a position in the election, so he's not able to chair the events for us. We're going to start off the evening with the FLSC and FUSH sabbatical candidates who have been able to attend this evening. So first of all, thank you very much for attending. What I want to do is to ask each of the candidates to state their name and then the faculty that they will actually be running for. So we'll start with you and then work round, please.
Okay. Hi, my name is Akusua Ofusu Esiedu. It's my full name. However, you can call me Akus. I'm running for Faculty of Life Science and Computing sabbatical officer.
Hi, my name is Pierre. I'm running for FISH, Faculty of Social Science and Humanities.
Hi, my name is Mohammed Ibrahimpour. I'm also standing for sabbatical officer for Social Science and Humanities faculty.
I'm Nicole Mitchell and I'm standing for FUSH sabbatical officer as well.
Right, thank you. So what I'm going to do is I'll open up with the first question and then we'll throw it to the floor for them to ask questions. For answering the questions, we will go around in the order that candidates have introduced themselves. And if I can ask for there to be about 1 minute for your responses. So the first question, and it's a broad one, is why should the students vote for you in these elections?
Okay. Should I start?
Yes.
Okay. Basically, I'm a student at the moment of the Faculty of Life Science and Computing, and I have been for the past 3 years. So I started. And as a student, I think I'm in the best position to know what students, how they feel about not just the faculty, but the university, what they want from us as officers. And I think I'll be in the right position to help represent their voices. And on my manifesto, I wrote about 2 things that I would like to do, and that's defend and promote students, and defend in the sense that if students got any problems, I feel that instead of speaking to staff members, if they could speak to someone who they feel more comfortable with, which would be sabbatical officers, to help defend their cases. And also the second was promote. And I feel that we students don't get enough time, like our societies or interest, they're not really promoted or marketed enough in the university, and I think that's another thing that we could look at having to do. And I feel that as a current student, I would be in the best position to help, carry these voices across the board. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Pierre?
Thank you very much. For me, I've been a PIR student for 3 years. I've been 15 committees throughout my 3 years at university, so I understand what this university is about, the union, the university. I've been in all these positions. I've actually been in the highest boards, academic boards. I've been staff, faculty staff. I know what this university is about. I know what's happened. I know what to expect. So if you elect me as your officer, you'll see something that actually passion. You see someone who's going to fight for everything for these students. So if you elect me, I'll be that type of person.
If I get elected, I'm also looking for achieving a bigger student union, promoting a student union. I feel like in this university, and I feel like there is a huge gap between student union and students in this university, and I want to build a relation between these two, which will lead into rapid growth in our societies. Student union, I believe this way, the more students we have participating, if of course it means we're representing more students, which of course is good, and we'll have rapid growth in our societies, which of course is also good. And I feel like I can sort of change the way university is marketed, and this will lead into getting rid of a negative mentality towards student union that I feel also exists amongst among the students. Yeah.
Thank you. And Nicole?
Yeah, well, the reason why I think everyone should vote for me is based on the work that I've already done. And the reality is, I do what the students need me to do for them. That is my job, that is how I treat my job, and that's all I care about. So I work with the students themselves to get results so that they have input. I worked with current student reps now who wanted to launch a 100-page printing allowance campaign. That is what I'm working with them on now. Got the Board of Trustees to invest £1,500 in a women's forum, and that's being established, and we're launching that on the 23rd. I've been lobbying the university to establish a childcare facility which the students want and need and have been begging for a very long time. And I'm currently doing a business model for it and pitching that in a few weeks' time. And if you look at my manifesto, you'll see all the things that I've completed. But everything that is in my manifesto that I've completed and that are ongoing and that I have begun were done in the space of 5 months. And this is just the way I work. I work for the students. That is my job. That is, like I said, all I care about. And I know that if I can do so much in the space of 5 months, I can do a lot in the space of a year. So that is my main priority, students, and that's it.
Thank you. Right, thank you everyone for answering that question. Now, what I'd like to do is throw the floor open for questions.
Ravi Abdul Samad, are you Ravi Abdul Samad, and I wanted to ask if you guys do get elected, any of you, or if both of you get elected, what is your plan? What's your proof that you would be able to do the job? And what have you done in the past experience to allow you to be able to do such a job? Thank you.
So, yeah, if you
Okay.
want to take it. In fact, sorry, what I'll do is I'll just repeat the question.
Okay.
If you were to be elected, what proof do you have from your past work to say that you'll be able to do a good job as a sabbatical officer?
Okay, I could talk loads about this, so I'm going to do with it what I've done for the university so far. When I first got to the uni, I applied to become the diversity officer, but that didn't work out so well. But because I still wanted to get involved in the university, I then applied to be the president of African Caribbean Society, which at the moment was, I would say, quite, it wasn't really working. And for the past 2 years I've been president, I've put on a lot of activities, and I've got a lot of students involved in the society, so I've got a track record of actually getting meetings running, having events, observing important cultural events like Black History Month, and actually doing stuff like that. So just having done that as the African Caribbean Society, and I'm doing that, is proof that if when I set my mind to do something and working, I didn't do it by myself, did work together with the students, which I plan to do if I'm elected as the faculty FLSC sub officer, and being an African myself, and I was able to represent the society in that way, and being an FLSC student, I feel that I'm in that best position as well. Because I am part of the faculty, I think I'll be the best person to represent the student in that way. So yeah, I think that's one example, and I'll stop talking there.
Yeah.
Great. I had successfully run campaigns through transparency for when PIR got moved to North Campus. I fought and argued to stop staff cuts in PIR for our faculty, and our great success is in our Holloway hub that we've actually successfully got the library hours to be extended. So it's a great success that we've had. So those are our successes so far, and hopefully we'll do more if I get elected.
In my opinion, well, in 1 year is a very short amount of time. So therefore, I will have a single vision, a single long-term plan, which I really actually like, is to build basically our. The advantage of our geographical location is a big good thing, basically, and we are surrounded with private companies that we can use in order to raise our profile in the area. And it's also, if we build this partnership between the companies and our students, we will both sides will benefit from this partnership. So, for example, these societies that we have in the student union, we will have them connected to these private third-party companies, and of course this is what I will be working on. And of course, the student union, it's not about what we're going to do only. I think it should be open to any opinions all the time, and that's, I think, that is the nature of a student union. Not just here, anywhere else. So I will have to. The main thing is to make sure the student voice is heard, and we have to make sure that we help students have a good experience here.
Thank you. Nicole?
Generally, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, finished? So yeah, my 4 main themes which have remained since the beginning of last year is improving academic support, bettering the student experience as a whole, and enhancing student experience, more representation for students, more welfare support. And those are the themes that I've stuck to. They are what I'm all about generally anyway. So in terms of what I want to do, I want to complete what I've started. There are a number of things. Like I said, I'd always point you to my manifesto because I don't have enough time to go through everything I've done. But there are a number of things that I've already completed and certain things that I still need to complete. And I need to finish my year in order to be able to complete them, such as the childcare and support for sports teams and so on and so on and so on. In terms of what I can do or can I prove that I would complete it, like I said, there's a list of all the things that I've completed in the space of 5 months. And I don't stop until I get results generally. So it's not a question of whether I can do it. I will do it. Simple as that, really. But yeah, for example, I care about the faculty. So I want to create more job opportunities for the students in the faculty. And I'll give you an example where I've done that already, but I still intend to continue. I'm currently and have been working with a program coordinator from an organisation, and this is someone who actually graduated from this university years ago. She started her own organisation, and now she's got loads of jobs on offer, and she wants the students of London Met to be taking on those jobs, and I'm working with her to help her get more students from the Faculty of Social Science and Humanities to have those jobs, creating more opportunities for the students generally. I work very closely with the Faculty of Social Science and Humanities anyway, and I've met with them and helped them create new ideas and come up with solutions in terms of getting the university to work better with the community sector and the voluntary sector. Oh, that answers your question though, I've got a list.
Hi, I'm Jason. Question is, what motivates you all to do this? Why do you want to do this?
Okay, motivation. I've always been the type of person who kind of not wanted to sit back. I've always wanted to get involved in whatever goes on around me. So if you read my manifesto, you would learn that from when I was in primary school, I was a student monitor, and then when I was in secondary school, I was sports and class rep. And then in college, I was rep president. So basically, throughout my whole years, that's what I've known. I've known getting involved in student roles, speaking with, working together with students, speaking for students. And I think what motivates me is the fact that when you get results, because most students, we're all students, well, we've all been students once, and we know how difficult it is to get our ideas across to board members and like people in power. And it's quite... when you get results from what, you know, when you've done something, you get results and you see the students and how happy they are, it's quite nice, and it gives you a sense of like you've accomplished something. For example, with the library hours, like the library hours got increased and everyone's like so happy that they did. And if you're working on a team on a board, and you see that it's actually creating a big difference in people's lives and it's making people really happy, it's just really, gives you is a nice feeling. And I guess that's what motivates me, to see that I'm actually doing something to help my community, help everyone around me, and that people appreciate what I do and working together with students. So yeah, I guess that's what drives me. Yeah.
Thank you. And Pial?
What drives me was actually my last trip to Bangladesh. My last trip to Bangladesh was really inspirational. It was my motherland country, and what I saw and what I could achieve and trying to help people has always motivated me. Always, I wanted to help people. Ever since seeing the conditions that people live in, the way that people live in, but how happy they are. So I thought, why not take that motivation, take that back to the UK? And when I've come here, I've always wanted to do that. That's why my subject is politics, I do. That's why I want to help people. I want to try to help people around the university. That's why I've been part of 15 committees. That's throughout 3 years, 15 committees is not easy to do. I found the time because I felt like I wanted to help people. Helping people has always been what I've been about. So that's why I've come to do this. That's why I'm standing here today. That's why I'm doing this today. Thank you.
Well, Jason, your question is very simple, and my answer is also very simple. For example, I stood for this position because obviously I thought I could help towards the issues we have in our university. I felt like we can use our, going back to what I said earlier, we're not taking advantage of our geographical location. We're surrounded by a rich we are actually within the rich community area, and all of a sudden we're talking about lack of funds and all these things, which I think is ridiculous. We shouldn't even be talking about it, based on the advantages that we have in this university. And I felt like I can bring new plans, tactics, in order to help students and raise the prestige of this university, Thank you. Thank you.
How long? A minute? A minute? It's a minute. Hi, Jason. What drives me is literally the students at this institution. And to break it down, this university is the most diverse uni in the UK. And a lot of the students here are from backgrounds that would, in other areas of the UK, would mean they wouldn't actually go to university. And so I want to support those students. I know what it's like to come from a certain area and be held back as a result of where I'm coming from and all the rest of it. And I know a lot of the students here are facing the exact same things. So I want to make sure that they can actually achieve what they came here to achieve. And I want to help them help themselves change their lives as well, because I know that I could do it for myself. And I've always been involved. So, for example, my course was social policy and youth studies, and I've literally always had a thing for the people, young people, the students. That's what I've always been about. And I've worked as a student ambassador, I've done youth mentoring, I've done mentoring at City and Islington College. I worked on the Upward Bound scheme for students that are 16 doing their GCSEs and come from disadvantaged backgrounds to boost their grades up. I've been a student academic representative, and I've always been involved. So for me, it's about literally changing lives like the mission statement says, but I actually want to make sure that that mission statement is achieved, and that is what drives me.
This is going to be for FBL and CAS for the candidates. It's going to follow very much the same process as last time. I'll open with a question and then throw the questions out to the floor. So first of all, I would like to invite the candidates to state their name and the position they're running for, and we'll start with you, please.
Thank you, Chris. I'm Marco Brunone, GFBL.
I'm Amanda Marillier, standing for CAS.
Right, and again, the first question that I will start with is, why should students vote for you in the upcoming elections?
Thank you, Chris. Why should students vote for me? I've been in student union elections since 2012. So that's 4 elections so far, and I'm really proud that I've been involved in the processes. I've seen a lot of people in the past that have no opportunity and no hope. London Met gives opportunity and hope to a lot of students. It did to myself. I've met fantastic people at London Met, people that changed my life. Therefore, it is a privilege and honor for me to dedicate my year in defending the interest of these people, of these students. Thank you.
Thank you. And Amanda?
I'm the first CAS officer to represent the faculty, so it's the first time that that's happened, and I'm really excited to work with everyone and the different faculties as well, and organize many events. And my role has been media, so I enjoy working, getting people involved, which we've done as a team as well, and I want to carry that on another year.
Excuse me.
And my question is that, as you know, the universities is spread out at Holloway, Aldgate, Moorgate, and Cass. What type of events have you done, and what events are you going to plan for students to be more integrated? Because we are all over, and sometimes like business and Cass, they don't go well. But how can you plans for any events in the future that they were doing?
Thank you. So just to repeat that, Tim has stated that obviously we have multiple sites across London, and is asking what events have you organised to try and make the university more integrated, and also if you were to be elected in the future, what events would you be looking to do to get more integration for the students? We'll start with you again, Marco.
Thank you. What I believe is it's not so much of a problem between the different campuses finding unity. It's a problem in individual campuses alone finding a community of students that actually engage. Therefore, it's not a matter of all faculties, it's a matter of specific faculties working within the faculties and then coming together. So I believe that events should be run, for example, homogeneously across all campuses. So there should be no preference, first of all, between city and north. So the disparity of that could be solved by at least having equal events across the campuses. Events that we've done in the past, we've done, let's see, we haven't done some in a while. We've done speed meet, we've done society events, Black History Month, thank you. I don't know why I missed that. We've done Engagement Week, yeah, thank you. Societies Fair. There's a whole list of events to do, but 4 individuals cannot do these events alone. We need student participation to deliver the very best events. We need student commitment for it. So, like, what I believe is there's no reason why everybody can get involved to create events or to deliver the very best events. So yeah, there's a lot of events coming up. I don't want to make any promises, but I really emphasize the fact to work with societies, so events societies, and to establish an event committee, so students coming together to come up with ideas for the event rather than just making it be something happening on paper kind of thing.
Okay,
thank you.
Thank you, Marco. And Amanda?
Hi. So I'm the CAS officer, and I've done 3 events that I've organized myself. And one of them was the Freshers Party for CAS, and it was also open to many students, so most students were from other faculties which came. And also the Verve Launch Party, which got a lot more involvement in the radio, and we have a lot of more shows during the day, and that's including more CAS people that will come, and I'm really excited about that project. And tomorrow there's an event in Brick Lane that I've organized with the Music Society, and that's open for everybody. So I want to do more of these events, collaborating with students from all across the faculties and, helping them out because it's for them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry.
And my question is, how do you plan to increase participation with the student union? For example, Manchester University got over 12,000 people to vote in their election. So how do you plan to increase participation?
Thank you. So the question is, how do you plan to increase the participation with the student union and between the student union and the students?
Okay, I believe that this question can be divided into two. So one is, how do you increase the student participation? And two, how do you get more students to vote in the elections? So on the first part, how do you get more students participate? I strongly believe that the society plays a key role, because the societies are numerous. There's a lot of different societies that you can choose from, and you have a direct link to the student union through that. Alternatively, I do believe that the student union should play a bigger role in giving volunteering opportunities to students. And I'm sure that's something that the student union will improve on in the coming year. Therefore, if you give the opportunity to students to volunteer and be accredited for that volunteering experience, there will be a lot of students that would want to get involved automatically. Voting, that's a tough one. That's the most important one, really. I believe that you just need to get students interested. How'd you do that? That's the million-dollar question. But students need to vote. You really need to vote, because all the candidates put their hearts and soul to what they believe in, to deliver these kind of speeches and to do great manifestos. So the candidates really play everything, and the least that students can do is at least look at the ballot paper, at least try and vote, do vote. So I don't know. I really don't know how to answer the question. How you get students more? I think just grab their attention. Just be different. Play out of. Don't be boring and political. Just be fun and engaging.
Okay, thank you. And Amanda?
So I think that this year has been the first time that the student union have been around physically, in presence, around the students, talking to students. So that has been a big change to people knowing us, and they recognize us. They know that the student union is here and they can come and speak to us. So that's the number one thing that's changed in the past from now. And to get more votes, we've done a lot of engagement week, and now people know that this election is coming and it's going to be in a paper ballot system. So that means that there will be something going on, and that will attract attention and people will know. And I think we've done a good job so far, and we can keep going in the next few months.
Thank you.
Sure. Hi, my name's Barbara. I just wanted to ask, what do you intend to do to tackle the chronic underrepresentation of women in our student union, in our student council, for example, and just mainly participation? I know that question was asked earlier and you both answered, but participation merely tends to be a lot of men occupying a lot of spaces. So how do you intend to make the spaces much more open to women, and how do you intend to address some of the structure and representation of women in our student union and university?
Thank you. So just to repeat the question, how do you propose to help increase the participation of women within the students' union to fill the positions such as sabbatical roles and hub committee roles and student council roles? Yeah.
Thank you. Everyone needs some form of empowerment, some form of motivation. Everybody, regardless to who you are. For women in specific, I do believe that one of our sabbatical officers is currently setting up that platform for women to actually engage and become future leaders. Me personally, I would help whoever takes the leadership role of that. Me personally, I would just support it. So that's how I would do it. But anyways, like I said, everybody needs empowerment, and everyone needs some form of motivation. So hopefully all these great ideas could come together to motivate and empower future students and women.
Thank you. And Amanda?
Well, now there's myself and Nicole, who are two women in the SU, and it's well represented, and representation is important because there's like over 150 countries in London Met, so there's so many diversity, and this SU this year we have that as a team. Everybody's from different cultures, and that's important because you can communicate to different people and you can relate to them from these experiences and different people. So we need that more representation, and if they see us and that this is already in place, this system can be taken on and keep going, and every year there'll be someone looking up to us and saying that like a female person would go for this position. So it's about keeping this going, yeah.
If I could first of all then ask each candidate to state their name and the positions or position that they're running for, please.
Okay, my name is Eden Barbara Ntumi. Most of you know me as Barbara, and I'm running to become a committee member on Holloway and also for NUS delegate.
Hi there, I'm Rabi Abdul Samad. I'm running for NUS delegate.
I will open with the question, why should students vote for you for the position that you're running for? And I'll start with you, Barbara.
Okay, that's fine. So I'm a second-year student at London Met. I study politics, and before coming here, I studied at Sheffield College, and I was student union president, first black woman ever to become a president of my student union there. And in that time, I think that's where my kind of being very engaged in politics started, and in that time I created, representative roles. So we had Liberation Office, Black Students Officer, Women's Officer, and all of that. I got my student union to work closely with the university and the staff. I actually aided an Ofsted check on my university with the head of Ofsted, so that was a great experience. And carrying in that tradition, I sit on the NUS Women's Committee, and I previously sat on the NUS Black Students Committee. And the reason why I'm running to become a committee member in Holloway is I've done a lot of events last year in conjunction with Nicole. I did the hashtag Reclaim Your Campus, which is about reclaiming the space in our university and our student union for women and addressing kind of the violence perpetrated against women and the inequalities perpetrated against women. So I want to carry that on. I want to carry that on in the Holloway committee. The other thing I want to do is liberate a curriculum, because a curriculums are very white and male, and that's not what the world is made up of. The world has a lot more women in it than men, a lot more black people in it than white people. So I just feel that our curriculum should be representative on that. We should have lists that represent other views, other perspectives, and they should not be very narrow. So that's the reason why I'm running. And the reason why I'm running for NUS delegate is because I love going to national conference. It's a long 3 days, but it's actually quite exciting. You get to debate policies that NUS has to work on for the rest of the year. And in doing that, I actually worked with Nigo to get some motions submitted to national conference. So for me, it'd be actually really awesome to go and be able to represent London Met and speak on those motions, like, free education and racism. Okay.
And Robbie?
Shall I start? Thank you. Hi. First, I wanted to say I'm going first for NUS mainly for food and free sleep. No, I'm joking. I'm going there for many reasons. One of them, I'm the first Lebanese editorial board, head of the editorial board, and I've partaken in editorial board in the university. I'm partaking in the radio last year and this year, and I'm a society president, and I partake in around 6 to 7 societies. One of them is United Nations, Majora State, and Banking Society, so many others, and I try to help in many other societies. And I'm trying to work for many campaigns. I also went on international students for international NUS student conference, and it was great fun. So I think to empower the people, to give them their say, I think I have the right power and the right position to do that. And it would be very lovely if you guys get me, because it will be very beneficial for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Jason. I think it's obviously been touched on a few times, but how are you going to motivate students to get more involved? I think in general in societies and in the student union in general.
Okay.
Yeah, so just to repeat the question, how would you try and motivate students to become more involved with societies and the student union as a whole?
Okay. So I've had experience of doing this before when I was at Sheffield College in the last year before I left. I think we had the highest turnout in students voting in an election ever in the history of the student union. So, and I mean, I think that a lot of that happened with obviously not just me, my team, but having conversations with people. Conversations are so powerful. I think we seem to forget them sometimes. I think having conversations with people, talking to people is how you get them engaged. stage, because so many times people are angry about a lot of things and they feel like they can't really do anything about it. And having these conversations with people is where you can, get them to realize that actually, when we come together as a collective, we can make things happen. And I think that that's how we're going to get a lot more students being involved in student union and be involved in societies. And I think the student union, what's happened this year is the student union has been visible a lot, and that's definitely a step in the right directions, but we need to be having a lot more conversations. The student union should be a part of everything that goes on in this university, and that needs to continue. And I think that the way that we can do that is having conversations with students.
Thank you very much. And Rabbi?
Hey, thank you. Many people think I'm a sabbatical officer because I partake in too much stuff, but I'm not. But I wanted to say I don't have to work to get people for societies, because I already do that. I get people to join my society. I got 86 members till now, and the number is increasing. I got people from Model United Nations Society, as well as the V2 Law Society and Mansfield Society. I partake in all of these and try to get students to partake in them. And even people who have stress and anxiety, I sit with them one-on-one session and talk to them, try to help out. Now people mistake me to think that I work in the university or I get paid. I actually don't. I just do it out of my heart. But yeah, this is for the people to know. Like if I'm going to my class, just let me go to my class and then speak to me after. But no, I'm joking. Anytime, you're welcome to approach me and tell me.
I'm Akuz. Just wanted to ask, so what have you ever been involved in a group, as a representing a group of people, and did you have any outcomes, negative or positive? And if you did, do you feel you can have the same kind of achievement with if we were to elect you? So basically give examples of being representing a group and what kind of outcomes you've been able to have, and how you would like to do the same for London Met if you were chosen to represent us. Thank you.
Right, so to paraphrase the question, have you been part of a group that has had goals that have come to completion, and how would you bring that as a benefit for the student union and the university as a whole?
Okay, so like I previously said in my introductions, I'm actually the carers rep on NUS Women's Campaign. So I'm a student with caring responsibilities. And one of the things that we did last year was we launched a research, NUS conducted a research into student parents, student carers. And one of the things is we had to, obviously, you do research and then you have to do something with your research, else it's pointless. So one of the things we did is we worked with Young Carers Trust UK, and we worked in terms of, and what we particularly did with that was getting young carers who were going to go to university and how the system would work for them and how UCAS would work for them. So I actually wrote a blog that went on the Young Carers UK website, and they received a good response of that in terms of young carers knowing exactly what it meant for them, and the fact that being a carer and a student is not something that's talked about a lot, and it's people actually navigating and people actually being forward with that. And I think that we've still got a long way to go in terms of the structures, catering for student carers without them having to seek it out, and it take a long time. So so that's one of the things that I've done, that I believe that I've got experience in making things happen. And that's why I think people should elect me.
Thank you. And Robin?
Hi, thank you. If you mean leading a group or partaking in a group, I done both completely finely. I worked for Lord Mayor Show, and I was leading the speech and the chancing along with Marco Brunoni and Joel De Temperley and a guy called Ayush. And we had great fun. I also partaken in the new Magna Carta, which is the new project for the new British Constitution, made by Alan Graham, the MP, and I'm helping him in that part of a team. And I'm also leading the Verve Radio as well as the Verve magazine, and I've worked for BBC Radio Leicester as an event person. Basically organizing events, giving free hugs on Valentine and stuff like that. But yeah, that's as in working in a group, I know how to work as a team leader and as a team member. I know how to do both.
Marco Brunone, Godot Faculty of Business and Law. My question is, A, to your opinion, what do you see the future of the NUS leading to, in your opinion? And B, how would you, in your opinion, represent fully the students of London Met? Thank you.
Thank you. So, first of all, what do you see for the future of the NUS, and how would you represent London Met in that?
Okay. Wish I had a crystal ball, but for this question I don't. I see, for me, potentially the NUS being a force to be reckoned with, because it represents 6 million students, and at the moment, it's not doing the best that it can. I'm going to be critical. It's not. I see it being as a force that fights for students in terms of free education, in terms of the way that our universities are funded, in terms of the disparity between, you know, women students and men students, the disparity between black students and white students. I think it really could be a force to be reckoned with, but it's not doing that at the moment. And it needs people like, not just me, you too, to go in there and really try and change that. And that's why, you know, I submitted motions to national conference that talks about dealing with racism, that talks about fighting for free education, because the idea, well, we keep being told that free education is not possible, but it is, because, you know, we're what, the 7th richest country in the world, and Germany, you know, has managed to pass free education. So we keep told that it's not possible, but it actually is. And I think that the only way you can get things like that, for example, the women's vote was not won because women said, oh, we want the vote, and then they were like, okay, yeah, we'll give it to you. People fought really hard for it. People came together and they fought hard, and it took lots of years. And I think that's what NUS can be. NUS can be NUS that really fights for students and make sure the students are getting a good deal in terms of welfare, in terms of fees, in terms of, you know, a curriculum and the way they were taught, in terms of, you know, all of that. I think it really can be that. And I want to be that student that goes to national conference and represents London Met, because I think London Met can also be the student union, you know, based in London, which is the centre of this country, that really fights and champions and moves things forward in terms of, you know, like I said, the disparity between black students and white students, the disparity between, you know, women and men, because here we have a high proportion of black students and we have a high proportion of women. And I think that we can really be the student union that champions and leads that forward. And, you know, NUS is not an entity of itself. We make NUS. We're all NUS. So, yeah.
Thank you. And Robbie?
Yeah, thank you. Cheers. I wanted to start by saying now I see NUS is going more. I forgot to ask the question. Did you ask it? Yeah. Sorry. Now the student, the NUS is going more to a political degree, more than going to rather than carrying out stuff about students for students. Although politics is involved with students and is part of the politicians' agenda as a student, the price of unis is going to be brought down based on what I heard from the NUS. They're trying to bring it down. I also attended an NUS conference of London recently, and it wasn't so professional. The only university that was actually partaking in it properly was London Met, and we were in it and we were partaking properly. All the other universities were not caring. So until the NUS people themselves care, and until more people partake, that's when we'll become powerful. That's when we'll become a voice. As in prices down, I heard they're gonna bring the prices down of degrees, hopefully to around 6,000 to 7,000 pounds. So let's pray and let's look at NUS and thank them if we can in the future once they do it. And thank you.
Thank you. So we'll have one more question.
I'm Nicole. Yeah. Okay. It's a very broad, it's a very broad question, and it's a mixture, so I'll interpret it how you need to. What is it about the students at London Met that drives you to want to go to national conference and represent the students here? What is it about the students here that pushes you to do this? What's your passion when it comes to the students? Yeah.
So just to paraphrase again, what is it about these students of London Met that makes you want to go and represent them at national conference?
Okay, so a lot of people don't know this, you might do, but I actually grew up in Barnsley, which is a little town in South Yorkshire, which is predominantly white, and I'm from Ghana, and when I moved here, I had the hardest time ever in that town. And when I was old enough, I could not wait to leave, honestly. And I moved to Sheffield, which was, a lot better. But I do remember the first day I stepped into London Met and people walking past me, and I was like, this is amazing. I want to be in this institution because I see loads of people that look like me. I see myself thriving here, and that's really what drives me. And like I said before, majority of students in this university are women, majority of them are black. And those are the things that I am. And those are the two things that continually, not the only things, but those are the two things for me personally that I identify with, continually marginalized in society. We're the least people that our voice are heard. We're the people that our voice is seldom heard. And I think that we need that to change in order for us to be a prosperous and more enriching society and student union and university. We need to tackle those issues head on. Those are the things that drive me. Those are the conversations I have with people time after time. Those are the events that I put on when we talk about, sexism in the curriculum, when we talk about rape culture, when we talk about, reclaiming a campus that women feel safe in. I don't think people quite understand that. I think when you say that, people are like, but it needs to be a place that everybody feels safe, and women especially feel safe. And, we're talking about majority of black students. It's not just about London Met, it's about outside there. So we take London, for example, where, loads of black men get stopped and searched for no reason. That's something that drives me. That's something that, again, I feel London Met can be at the forefront leading, because we have those people in this institution. We have those people that can tell their stories. We have those people that can lead the charge. And that's honestly, what drives me.
Thank you. And Robbie?
Thank you. I'm already thought of as a leader, usually around the university and outside the university. That's why I wanted to go to the NUS mainly. But also, where I grew up was Leicester. Unfortunately, I found it really hard to find somebody who actually speak English in my class. Most of them were very, very diverse. Now in university, people become more educated, and I actually learned a lot of languages while I was in college and in school. Now I speak them properly. Basically, when you learn more, when you realize that there is more that you could do for many diverse people, and you realize how many ethnicities there are, and each one has to be represented, you realize that this may be your chance to represent them. There was the case of London Met, which was in 2011. It made London Met special in the NUS conferences, and it made it special as a university and as an institution. And I want to fight based on where I come from, and where I come from is a strong position, and I'm a strong person, so I can make a strong change. Not practice makes perfect, but perfect practice makes perfect person. And thank you.
Thank you very much, Robbie. So again, I just want to thank the candidates for coming up here and saying their piece, and if we could give them a round of applause, please.